What would happen if Earth spun north to south instead of its current west to east rotation? What does north to south rotation mean? Currently, Earth spins around an axis that runs from the North Pole to the South Pole. It rotates counterclockwise when viewed from above the North Pole, which makes the sun appear to rise in the east and set in the west. If Earth were to spin from north to south, that would mean the axis of rotation is now horizontal, running from the equator to the equator, which is unnatural for a spherical planet. Earth would be spinning sideways, more like the planet Uranus, which rotates almost on its side. Normally, because of Earth's rotation, the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. With north to south rotation, the sun's path would change completely depending on where you are on Earth. At the equator, the sun might appear to rise from the north, travel across the sky, and set in the south. At higher latitudes, the sun's movement could appear sideways, or even just circle around the sky like it does near the poles. This would make timekeeping, seasons, and navigation extremely different from what we know. Earth's current spin creates the Coriolis effect, which influences wind direction, shapes large weather systems like cyclones and trade winds, and drives ocean currents like the Gulf Stream. With a north to south spin, the Coriolis effect would act along east-west lines, not north-south. Wind patterns would form differently, possibly with giant storms running from east to west rather than spinning. Ocean currents would change direction or break apart, causing major climate disruption. For example, rainforests might become deserts. Deserts might turn tropical, and polar ice could melt or grow depending on how sunlight is distributed. With Earth spinning sideways, some places might experience months of daylight followed by months of darkness, like the poles do now. But this could happen all over the planet, not just at the poles. Equatorial regions might have very short or very long days depending on Earth's tilt and orbit. The familiar pattern of 24-hour days and nights would no longer exist in the same way. Seasons are caused by Earth's tilt of 23.5 degrees and its orbit around the sun. Now, if Earth rotated north to south, its tilt might be 90 degrees like Uranus. One hemisphere could face the sun for half the year, while the other is in darkness. This would cause extreme seasons with scorching heat followed by freezing cold. A sideways spinning Earth would be unstable for a few reasons. The bulge at the equator caused by centrifugal force would shift. Gravity would try to rebalance the planet back to a north-south axis. Over time, Earth would either wobble chaotically or stabilize back to a more natural rotation. Also, satellites, GPS, and space missions depend on predictable rotation. They'd stop working or need major recalibration. All life evolved under regular day-night cycles, predictable seasons, and stable climate zones. A north-to-south spinning Earth would mean some areas might get too much heat or cold. Food chains, ecosystems, and agriculture would struggle or collapse. Humans might have to live underground, in controlled environments, or only in narrow safe zones. In summary, if Earth spun north to south, the sun's movement might rise in the north and set in the south. The day-night cycle would be irregular, possibly resulting in months of day or night. Seasons would become extreme or disrupted. Weather would experience wild shifts in wind and storms. Ocean currents might collapse or reverse. The magnetic field could be disturbed or even reversed. Life would face massive challenges or extinction.